Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's one funny morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday.
Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our school
murder
time.
in New Jersey.
He was a lot
Like what is?
with his everything.
Oh,
What's outside your Puerto de Clima?
that's Stellar! Yeah!
Good morning, OFM friends. Coming to you from Slinger, Wisconsin. I'm Kathy, and I'm coming to you from my happy place, which is my front yard. These gorgeous trees are in full bloom, and there's my front porch with my flowers and all the such. Anyways, just thought I would share with you my happy place. So, to our BIC, Dina, take it away. Have a great day, everybody.
That was so beautiful. Look at Kathy's pretty spot. Oh, that sounded dirty. I'm sure it's gorgeous, but that was her front yard. Okay. Wow. That was the quickest turn. Welcome to Monday. I'm starving. Okay. All right. How is everybody? I'm making breakfast. That's what I know. Kathy Krasinski did such a good job. It's so beautiful. I love seeing all the flowers. If you have not made your video, we would love to see your special spot. Okay, and I'm not even drunk. It's too early. It's Tuesday, but it's too early, so I'm starving. I haven't really. Is it Tuesday? I'm so messed up. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the salmon was so good. And I realized I didn't take a picture of it because we just ate it. I'm only feeling better because I'm about to eat actual food. I had like a little piece of food last night and like some potatoes, and I did taste the pesto and the salmon, but not much. My stomach, I've been real messed up. If it's not painfully obvious, it's fake Monday. Thank you. That's actually not my fault. I don't know how many people also woke up thinking today was Monday because it's a holiday. So apparently it's new Monday, which is called Tuesday. Whatever. I know it's Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. All right, let me tell you what's been going on. So, Armando said, yeah. Jeremy said, are men allowed to send us a video of their special spot? I feel like we are. Why is everything dirty? Okay, here's what happened. What happened was the last time we spoke, I was on my way to bail. And it was very long, but I got there and I did a great job. And when I was in Breckenridge a few years ago, I got a little bit of a headache. I was fine in Denver. There should be a song called I Was Fine in Denver. I was fine in Denver when I landed, and I was fine going up the hill to Vail. But after maybe an hour, I just was like, I was talking to people, but everything was like a fog. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. It's just, I was like people were talking and I was like I couldn't function. And then, I guess that was Friday. I did a show Friday. It was a lot of fun, met some fun people. Oh my gosh. And then it was so great seeing everybody in person, all the people that we had interviewed for the last week. Veterinarian Kevin, adorable. And Katie and Sarah did their podcast, which will be coming out eventually. And all those boys are 27. They're all Dean's age, and they're all hanging out. And I feel sick as a dog. And they were like, "Why don't you come with us?" And I was like, "No, I was going to give them spending money." That's where I was as a person. I was just like, "You're all so young." I think they wanted me to come so I'd pay for stuff. But I know that wasn't right because they're not related to me and they're not named Dean, Jacqueline, Brooke. But that's the vibe. Like, they're adorable, so lovely. And they just kept asking me. And I was like, "I'm sorry, but I have to go lay down." Like, it didn't matter. And then I thought, you know what? Let me get Friday out of the way. They're going to let me know when it airs. Anne Marie, I'll let you know. I was like, this will be great. I'll just lay down all day Saturday and I'll feel better. And that did not happen. I attempted to go out on Saturday, but then I attempted to eat, and that's when things got bad. And then I realized that I was not going to eat or sleep or think during the weekend. And I was like, I can't. I've never had to leave a place before. I feel so awful. But I made the video. So I was literally wrapped in my favorite big sweater, which I call an Afghan. Everybody's like, "Are you okay?" You know what it was? It was like first trimester nauseous. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that will hit people. I was like, what is this feeling? It was first trimester nausea, and it wouldn't stop. And I was and so then everybody was, and so by the end of the night, when I was going to do that gig, I was feeling better. And the guys were like, "You look better. Are you feeling better?" I was like, "I'm feeling a little better. I think the key is just don't eat." And then they were like, "When's the last time you ate?" I was like, it's been hours. And I was like, I don't think that's sustainable. Yeah, it was altitude sickness, but I had no. And then, Friday was the first night, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired. Let me just have a little bourbon. They were like, you drink bourbon? And I was like, yeah. They were like, shouldn't have done that. And I was like, why? And they said, it's going to hit you 10 times harder. And it did. And that was not good. And then I was drinking water like crazy. I was drinking water. I went to Walgreens. I picked up electrolytes. I was doing everything. Something with salt in it. It just wouldn't. I was the exact same way in Hawaii. And I was fine in Hawaii. I don't know, because I think they said Denver's 5,000 feet. And then Vail is another 8 on top of that. It's too much. I just couldn't. And I was like, I don't think I could go back, because it hit me in Breckenridge, not as bad as this time. And then it hit me here. They do. But you know what? I didn't see any IV places. They had the oxygen thing. I did one of those. But I honestly, no, I mean, Katie, people that live there that have made the adjustment, like if you live there, you'll be fine. You can drink alcohol. But I really thought that after one day, like I would acclimate. And I did in Breckenridge, but just not in Vail. Yeah, they had the oxygen cans. I took a hit of that. Nothing. But it hit me skating in Breckenridge on the slopes, yeah. And then I left a day early. So I was supposed to do like a 7-minute set, I guess 2 nights ago. But I was like, that basically means I'm going to stay in my room the entire day feeling nauseous and not eating to do 7 minutes. And I was like, I can't. And so Mark, who you met, who was running it, I was like, listen, I'm really sorry. He was like, it's fine. And even when I told the people at the hotel, I was like, listen, I just want to let you know I'm going to leave early. He was like, happens all the time. I said, does it? He said, all the time. He said, Dina, there are people who check in and 2 hours later, they're like, we're leaving. Like, he's like, we have a very like open refund policy for that reason. He said, people come here and they think like, oh, this is going to be so, and he goes, and then 2 hours later, they're like out. And that was it. It got to the point where I was like, what, like if I eat something and I get violently ill, like there's a connection. And I wasn't eating anything. And if I did eat something, and it was like, I was having like veggie chips just to put something in my belly so I could take Tylenol because I had a headache. I was like, what could I put in my stomach that will offset the medicine I have to put in my body to offset the fact that I'm in the air? I'm flying an airplane, but I'm also walking around. And ever since she's had to have oxygen. Yeah. I don't think we're supposed to live up there. Mm-mm. Oh, Stephanie, I'm so sorry I had to leave early. It was such a pleasure. Stephanie came up and introduced herself to me. It was so fun. I met her and her husband and some of her friends. So that was really nice. Yeah. And then it was crazy because as I was coming down the hill, the mountain, the giant mountains, which took 2 hours, I could feel just my ears were popping. Everything was just like, and even Missy said, she was just talking to you on the phone and you just kept taking deep breaths. And I was like, I'm not an out of shape person. Like I go to the gym. I feel girl doesn't matter. Yeah. Breckenridge broke me, girl. You're not supposed to live up there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Come on, come say hi to everybody. All right. Okay, girl, you're not eating a peanut butter bagel. Say, but I could eat it. So no, I don't think I'm ever going back to. In fact, Tanya, anytime anybody asks me to go somewhere, I'll be like, yeah, maybe. What's the elevation? And that will be my answer. So yeah, she the baby. She baby. Oh, yo. You getting real close with the nose. Real close with the nose. So I know she's like, I can take this off your hands. This just looks like it's in the way. Yeah. All right. So there's a couple things that while I was laying in bed doing absolutely nothing that I saw. So first of all, there was a thing that just popped up this weekend. I want to see if anybody saw it because it's hilarious. And they were actually talking about it in the New York Times. I didn't read the New York Times article, but here's what it is. There's a young man. I would say he's married. I guess he's married because in the video, the wife says, this is my husband calling his friends to wish them good night. Have you guys seen these videos? Hilarious. So the guy looks like he's like 26, 27, maybe late 20s. I don't know. Cool guy, young guy, calls his friend and he's on speakerphone. And the guy's like, hey man, what's up? He goes, hey, I was just checking in. He was like, yeah, what's going on? He goes, I just wanted to wish you a good night. And the guy was like, what? I just called to wish you a good night. He's like, what's wrong with you? What? He was like, I'm calling to like say sweet dreams. And the guy gets so mad. He goes, what is wrong with you? And he calls a series of his friends and they're hilarious. Shikendra, you have to find them. And he calls them and they're all angry, but different levels. But when he starts saying sweet dreams, he goes, why are you saying that to me? He got violently mad. Literally can't. And I showed it to Jason, and he was like, I don't get it. And I was like, Jason, think about it. Like I literally could call Missy at midnight, anytime, and I could be like, hey, I just want to wish you good night. She'd be like, all right, cool, good night, love you. She said that to me before in the daytime, and that wouldn't be weird. But if a guy calls another guy who's never called him to say goodnight and started saying goodnight, he'd be like, is there something wrong? And she was like, I don't get it. I go, call one of your brothers right now. I go, you don't think your brother would think it was weird if you called your brother? I just called to say I love you. What is wrong with you? Why would you do that? It is just not part of man culture. Mm. One guy did that, and his buddy called him back to make sure he was good. That's what Jason said. He goes, you're right. If I called my brother and I was like, I just want to wish you good night, he'd be like, are you okay? All of them kept saying, are you okay? Did something happen? And that's what's wrong with society. Yeah. Sebastian, try it. It's so, and this is why men are sad. That's what I'm saying. Imagine if you went your whole life and nobody wished you good night. Right? Think about it. Yeah, I'd be concerned. Is there some bad news you're going to hit me with? Mm-hmm. And just be like, I love you. Be like, what happened? What's going on? Mm-hmm. So funny. But it does say something about man culture, which there is none. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was so funny. Mm-hmm. Jim said, my mom calls me every night. That's different, Jim, than one of your dudes calling you. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, who died? What happened? It's just funny. Very funny. Mm-hmm. My husband just said his friends would think he was dying. Mm-hmm. And my husband, what does she have to tell us? Uh-huh. He goes, he's like, man, I just love you. And he was like, dude, what is wrong with you? I'm debating if a text or a call would be more concerning to a guy. I wonder. Mm-hmm. It's just funny. It was just, where can you find it? Anywhere on the internet. Anywhere. Mm-hmm. There was a guy who called SSGT to say good morning. He waited till we thought it would be funny, but it turned out to be such a great honor. What's SSGT? I don't know what that is. My nephew is 40. I love that he always tells me he loves me. I say goodnight to my sister every night. Aw. I told him he should do this. I think they would say goodnight back, though. They're not the typical men, which is nice. Yeah. I'm eating Panera spinach bacon breakfast thing in the parking lot, watching the show. Nancy, I'm so proud of you. My brother never says he loves me, but admitted to his landscaper he loved him. He said it by accident. I'm telling you, Missy's done it to me. Where like you're on the phone with somebody, like maybe you're like talking to the cable company, and they're like, all right, you're like, all right, thank you, love you. Bye. But you're like, did I just tell the cable company? Missy did that to me. We were talking about something for work stuff. And then she was like, all right, love you, bye. And I hung up, and it happened so fast. I was like, did this bitch just say she loved me on the phone? 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm not prepared. I didn't, and I felt bad because I didn't say I love you back. So I called her back. And I said, I'm sorry, real quick. Did you say that you loved me before and she couldn't stop laughing. And she was like, yes, I did. I go, well, I don't want to be in that kind of relationship where like you're the first one to say it. And then like I leave you hanging. Like I just wasn't prepared. So I want you to know. I had to make a grand statement. I don't want to leave you like hanging because I love you. Mm-hmm. It's just, mm-hmm. I've said I love you to my manager before. Uh-huh. It's just too much. And then you know you're the weirdo. And then you hope the person didn't hear it and you go, all right, I love you. Okay, bye. Maybe they didn't hear it. They heard it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Janice. How many times? I feel like when you're younger, when you just start dating and you've never dated anyone before and you're like, I love you. Like how many times has a guy said, how many times has a guy said he loves you way before it's warranted or acceptable? And have you ever been the first one to jump the gun on the love? I am not a jumper, other than with Missy. I'm not a jumper. I'm gonna keep stuff to myself. You're gonna wonder for a long time. I had a boyfriend tell me he loved me, then retracted it. Like he said, you know, I want to take that back. Right, Laura? And what are you supposed to say? Like nobody prepares you for that. And I said, thank you. I did. I mean, the only go-to. Is there a better go-to? Thank you. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mm-hmm. 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 Wendy, that's so funny. He took it back. I'll be like, you can't take it back. I already have it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, nope, can't take it back. It's mine now. Uh-huh. I accidentally said I love you first when an ex was dropping me off. I said, oh, I'm kidding. And I ran to my apartment. My now husband told me he loved me very early in the relationship, like a few months. And I said, thank you. And he just looked at me. I've only told 2 men I love them. The first was a lie. The second was a mistake. Tara's like, I'm a jumper and I'm okay with it. Tara loves everybody. Mm-hmm. To a salesperson, Nancy, I've done that. My ex said he loved me first, and he still reminds me of that fact. I had the last say. He asked me to marry him, and I said no. Yeah, no takesy backsy. No, you love me. Can't take it back. I can feel it. Can't do it. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Holly. It's still a work in progress, but it's coming along. The hood's going to go in soon. So with my ex, he texted it to me. And then when I didn't respond, he called me and apologized. He said, I wanted to say it, but I wasn't sure. And I'm like, so you texted it? My husband, on the hand, was very clear when we started dating that he took it seriously. And he finally said it to me about a year into dating when the ball dropped on New Year's Eve. It was very sweet and definitely made it more meaningful. Oh, Victoria. My husband told me first, and I wasn't even close to saying it. I had a guy I was dating say, I love you today. Today. He put today on the end of it. I love you today. What do you think about how's tomorrow look? What is tomorrow? He said today. Apparently, after our first date, my husband went back to his local bar, told his favorite female bartender that he was going to marry me. That's an odd first person to go to. Like it like hits you like, oh. He don't like call his mom or his sister, like his friend from childhood. He's like, you know who needs to know this? My bartender. That's a choice. That's a choice. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. My best friend's boyfriend told her, I love your body. One day I might love you. Okay, let's talk about the weirdest ways that people have said I love you. What? I love your body. One day I might love you. I'd be like, well, that day is not anytime soon. What? What a weird way to say that. When you grow up in a family that says it all the time, sometimes it just flows out of your mouth to strangers, even when you're not thinking. I can see that. I'm often the first to have the feels, but I consider that a need to know, and he doesn't need to know. Yeah, I'll let you know when I've decided to let you know. Could you imagine? Did you guys see Canadians? No, this isn't you. This is France. Because this was Macron. He's France, right? Did you guys see the video of Macron? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? They're like, what is that, a macaroon? No, Macron, the president of France. Am I right? Let's confirm that first. There was a video of Macron coming out of a plane. Yes, Alejandra. Oh, yeah. The slap. So the plane, their version of like, yeah, Air Force One, which is another Qatar. I don't know. We're not going to talk about it. Macron's plane door is opening. And, you know, the people that work the plane are coming out and open the door and getting it ready for him. But he was standing in the line of some camera. And his wife, all you see is her hand. And it was not it wasn't a, come on. It wasn't that. It wasn't, you love me so much. He's 47. His wife is 72. I really don't know much about him, but I did hear somebody say that somebody put in the comments, well, she groomed him from a very young age and she's been controlling him the whole time. That was a comment that I read. I clearly am not. But, no. And yeah, they said it was some kind of, the look on his face when he sees the camera. She slapped him. Not only, it was like a slap hit, and it was just like a full, it was not nice. It was not nice. And somebody said, now people are talking about it, right? And some people's comments have ranged from, you know, she found out he was with another woman, in this, all these stories where she would be justified, but I was just like, I'm sorry. It was not okay. And somebody said, if it was the other way around and you saw the wife standing there and you saw his hand come in and do that, it would be a very different news cycle. Yeah. Diane said she did that in public. Could you imagine what she does behind closed doors? I think that she didn't realize, A, how close they were to the door, B, that the door was going to swing open. He's the president of France. Yeah, no, it was not good. It was not on. And then she wanted nothing to do with him coming down the stairs. I didn't see that. Yeah. Tracy, we're talking about the president of France and his wife when they landed somewhere. I don't know. But I was just like, that is not going to end well. It was awkward walking down the stairs. Yeah. Not good. All right. Also in the news cycle, and this one, I don't hear anybody talking about it, and I think this one's even weirder. This, because like I said, I literally did nothing. I just laid on my bed reading because I couldn't do anything. The headline was blind judo player barred from the Special Olympics for life. That was the title or something like that. And I was like, listen, you hear a lot of things when it comes to the Olympics now. I'm not going to get into it. A lot of stuff, a lot of fighting. Who deserves what? Who can compete? Fine. But you don't hear that about the Special Olympics. What are you going to fight about? This is the most beautiful thing on the planet. It's beautiful. The headline is, this girl is a girl had won the gold in judo. And they say she has been banned from the Special Olympics for life because it turns out she wasn't blind. What? Yeah. She wasn't blind. I'm like, but you said she was blind. She's not, girl. She's not blind. How did this happen? How does this happen? So they go on to explain. Because then, of course, now so there's this article. And there's comments underneath it. And it says, they started to think something was up when she drove herself to the competition. I was like, okay, that was funny. That's a funny joke. But here's what it was. You got to read some more. Apparently, there were 3 levels, right? Because all of these people are coming in with different abilities, right? And, you know, even when you watch swimming, did you see the swimming one? Like, some people are missing a leg, somebody's missing an arm. The guy with no arms ended up winning. Amazing. But it's not like everybody's coming in with the same abilities, right? Yeah, she wasn't blind enough. So here's what it was. They used to have 3 levels of visual impairment. And it was like J1, J2, J3. I don't know. This is these 3 levels. Well, randomly, they decide we are going to make adjustments to the eligibility. So say, I'm not making this up. Say you're like 2,400 in one eye and 26,000 in the other, then you'd be in the J2, I don't know, some weird algorithm. And they used to have J1, 2, and 3. Well, they got rid of J3. And they had made adjustments in J1 and J2. Boom, not eligible. And I was like, this feels like something you guys should have decided. Crazy. I don't know. It was a crazy country, Victoria. It wasn't like France or England. It wasn't like, it was one that's got a lot of letters and they're mostly consonants. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but but she did drive there. No, she didn't. I don't know how she got there, but Azerbaijan. Yeah, I don't know how you say that, Lorraine, but thank you for spelling it out. I don't know, Diane. Like, that's what's weird is like, well, why are you stripping her of it if you're changing the thing? But they said that there was maybe something crazy about how maybe something false about how her medical condition was being reported. So I think it was a little bit on both sides, but I've never heard any kind of hubbub with the Special Olympics. I don't know, Katie. Melanie said, that's disturbing. As someone dropped the ball in admitting her to the Special Olympics. There are so many forms doctors have to fill out, including which levels you can compete. My son is Down syndrome, and I have to prove it every 3 years to a Special Olympics board. Yeah. I had a friend of his who was legally blind, but was still able to get a driver's license. You know who's been great, and I follow them, but I'm not going to remember the name. So if you remember, chime in. It's Matthew, and I only know the partner's name. So there is a man who has a visual impairment on Instagram, and he's adorable, and he writes books. But his partner is Matthew, who is he's not visually impaired, and so they really started documenting what life is like in a relationship where someone has a visual disability, and he has a cane and he has a seeing eye dog, but he can see certain things. And so it's been very interesting, like if you follow them, which I recommend you do because they're just beautiful people. With Miss Maple, the dog, exactly, Matthew and Paul. And he talks about how many times people will challenge him and say, you're not really blind because I saw you X. I saw you do X, and you couldn't do X if you were really blind. And he says, there are things that I can do properly, and there are other things that I can't do at all. And here are the ways. And he just has such a really beautiful way of just talking about it. And then he pranks them all the time, but in like the most loving ways and just beautiful. And so, yeah, it's been really, they've done, some really beautiful things to just open the conversation. He must be able to see colors and shapes, but not clearly. Yes. Yes. So yeah, they've been great. They've been great to follow along. Paul has Mr. Maple as his guide dog, and Matthew is amazing. Yeah. Paul only has about 5% of his vision yet left. Yeah. Anything less than 20/200 is legally blind. I fit that description, but with contact glasses, I can get to 20/20. Yeah. Yeah. That does that with Down syndrome. They are so sweet. OG is blind, but he sees shapes. I know. I just had a spider run across my foot. Now I have to burn my house down. Girl, yes. I hear you. There was a blind woman who won Master Chef years ago. That's amazing. And I don't want to put myself on the same level as the blind lady that won Master Chef, but I did make pesto last night. And it was really hard. So it's basically like the same. Oh, you saw Pete Lee? He's the best. My sister can tell whether it's today or night. That's it. She can tell the difference between day and nighttime. That's it. Gosh. Yeah. Has anyone ever been caught being illegally blind? Well, this is what I'm saying. Tim, the lady in the judo, she won gold in judo in the Special Olympics. And they're saying she's not really blind. The pesto was good. I've never really eaten a lot of pesto, so it's hard for me to say it was the best pesto I've ever had. I guess it was the best pesto I've ever had because I've never had it. I entered a cooking contest next month. I'm showing up with an apron that says, never trust a skinny cook. How is pesto hard? Isn't it just basil oil and pine nuts? No, Mary, this was a very fancy recipe. And I was using all of the herbs from my herb garden, girl. Who got an herb garden? I had basil. I had mint. I didn't have the chives or the parsley. And I used pine nuts. Angela, I toasted them. Jason toasted the pine nuts first, which I've never had in my whole life. They were so good. I'm going to put them on everything. But yeah, it was good. Like we're becoming, and the Parmesan. Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot in it. You know, they sell it at Costco. Katie, it's not the same as when you make it with your own hands. I basically tilled the land. I didn't till the land. Andrea got me them at a place, and I bought. There's no mint and pesto. Now there is, Carol. There is now. Pine nuts. And why do they call them pignoli cookies? Oh, those are the ones. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I guess I have, but they don't taste the same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you post a recipe? No. But I'll show it to you. It was from Sur La Table. If you put in Sur La Table grilled salmon with summer herb pesto, and you'll find this. Yeah, it was from my garden. And by my garden, I mean, Andrea gave me a thing this wide, and I have strawberries on one, basil on the top. I have, what up on the bottom? Mint. Mint is on the bottom. And then, Jason had to cut those trees down. And now we're going to try to do peppers. I could have 7 peppers a day. I could live on peppers and eggplant now. I used to grind my own wheat, so I know about working hard with your hand. What are you talking about, Katie? Who's grinding their own wheat? Yeah, Shakendra, it is supposed to be Smoothie Tuesday, but we're behind. So maybe I could see if Steph can post one today. The recipe is grilled salmon with summer herb pesto by Sur La Table. It was really good. Where are you going to put the chives and the parsley? I have 2 more over here. So I thought I'd put the peppers in one. And I probably could put the parsley in with near the mint, Andrea. I was thinking about getting one more big planter, like the tall one that my mom gave me. I'm going crazy. Eggplant, not good for inflammation. It hasn't bothered me, Sandy. I actually feel like I'm moving towards more plant-based with a little bit of chicken and salmon. I've been eating summer light. It makes me feel better. The eggplant doesn't bother me. Don't put them in the ground. It takes over. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, mine's in a little thing. Be careful with pine nuts with your kidney stone. Really? Moyne says she grinds wheat as well. What's happening? Are pine nuts bad for kidney stone? Are you about to ruin pine nuts? Some nuts are worse than others. According to a 2020 report looking at the impact of nut consumption. Brazil nuts, I don't eat. Almonds, a little bit. Pine nuts actually contain nearly twice as much soluble oxalate compared to peanuts, pistachios, and chestnut. You had to go and ruin. Mint is so invasive, so don't put it in the ground. Interesting. Oh, Laura, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but Lisa, I still eat chicken. I don't know if you're still considered a pescatarian if you're still eating chicken. Yeah. It's very close, Mooney. You can use a different nut in pesto. Yeah, I'm not. No, I actually want to start to make hummus. I made hummus once before in that machine right there. It does a lot. Have you guys gotten one of these? This food processor? It makes all the dips. I'm just gonna dip my way through life. A Fox family owns my yard right now. The mama and 4 babies. Diane, it's my newest obsession. Yeah, like I might have like maybe 1 steak all summer. I wouldn't say I don't ever eat it, but I will say that I don't probably feel great after I do, but it's so good. Eggplant's a shade store in the front of the fridge. Get rid of it. Inflammatory problems. Store it in the fridge to get rid of the well, that's what I do. Maybe that's why it hasn't been bothering me. Oh, Monica, she's getting her colonoscopy. Who needs their colonoscopy today? Yeah, Tara, I've had it forever. And I think there's and I think they're still at my house. I don't know the difference. So for instance, so I used this thing last night, maybe for you people that know, and I forgot. Oh, this one's the Cuisinart, Judy. Like somebody bought it for me, like the fans. This is the nice one. So I used this last night, which by the way, you're supposed to put in before you mix them. Unless you're trying to prime it first. So I use this. But I do remember that when I bought it, it came with like these circle things. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It was a circle. I think it slices things. But I don't know where they are, and I don't know why I would do that. Does anybody have anything to say? I don't know. And then you could get a mandolin. Girl, if I get a mandolin, it's over. Because I didn't even know what a mandolin was. I thought it was an instrument. Discs. But wouldn't I do that with my mandolin that I don't have? Yeah. You can shred cheese with them. What? It's for slicing and shredding. For hash browns. Huh. Good luck, curly toe. Yeah, I think I gotta watch some videos or something. Tahini doesn't look great, but it smells amazing. I've never had tahini. Mandolins are great for scalloped potatoes. It's like an electric mandolin. The disc is for slicing it. When I saw you put those ingredients in. Yeah, no. I get bricks of cheese for sale and I shred them. And this thing? Don't get a mandolin. You'll cut your hand off. Yeah, that sounds right. Use the guard all the time. And a slice it along with the bottom chopper. Yeah, I think I have to find them first. The slicer on the food processor can't take the skin off your hands like a mandolin can. Okay, if I find the discs, I don't need the mandolin. Okay. Tracy's the only one. I love my mandolin. My mandolin changed my life. Oh, look, all the mandolin haters were at the top. Now the people are showing up. I use my mandolin slicer for vinegar, cucumbers, tomatoes, and onions. I sliced off a piece of my finger. You can slice vegetables, zucchini, squash. I bought the TikTok shop shredder and I love it. My mandolin came with a special glove. Mine is a Cuisinart, and I've had it forever. And if you only use it 3 times in 10 years, it's in great shape. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm not going to get a mandolin before we go to Quebec because I'd like to have all my fingers. Mm-hmm. We have a mandolin, but it's so sharp it scares me. Yeah. Yeah, Christy, I feel fancy enough. And it was funny because I bought this here when I moved here. And then when I got it here, I realized I didn't have any blades for it. And so I had to call Caroline, my renter, and I go, listen, could you look in my kitchen and see if you find anything that looks like it should go with my food? I said, even if you can find one, that would at least let me use it. I said, so I'm sure the other ones are there. I have to find them. I had a mandolin once. I used it once and took it back because it was terrifying. Fat part of my fingertip was a mandolin victim. Wow. Bought me the thick rubber gloves after I sliced off part of my finger. Yeah. Doesn't every mandolin come with a finger guard? How do you not use it? The shovel guy was horrified and begged her not to get one. Yeah, no, I didn't even know what it was. Did you not replace the upper in that kitchen? There were none on this wall. There's some over here, Carol. They're still there. There were never any on this wall because of the big window, and you can't put one there because there's one over there. So yeah, we still have. Although there's supposed to be a door being put in behind you this week, so it will be beautiful. So excited. Should I remove my mandolin from my rental house? I don't want any accidents. I would say yes. What is a mandolin? Thank you for asking, Robin. It is a kind of this wide piece. It's wide grater, and you slide along in it, and you'll see it on cooking shows, and they make like the perfect slices. Fancy. I only know it because I used to work at Crate and Barrel, and somebody came in asking for one. I was like, we don't sell musical instruments here. And then I got in trouble. And then they had to show me what a mandolin was. Yeah, it's a guillotine for food. Thank you, Diane. That's perfect, actual description. So when I have this, I never used this, so I got rid of it. Yeah. It's a stringed instrument. It's beautiful. Yeah, you have to be real clear on what kind of mandolin you're buying on the Amazon, because you're either going to get an instrument or you're going to get a grater. I had a giant meat slicer. Guess who sliced their fingers? Said Meredith. Yeah, no. In fact, I said to Diana that we've never had a blender down the shore. And I was like, girl, we're going to need a blender. Diana was supposed to sponsor the blender. If you ever run at the shore, I should put there, blender brought to you by Diana. She was all set to do it, but they didn't have it at the store. So, I know, Kezia, I don't know what that is. We have woodpeckers. Yeah. There's a big fight outside. I'm assuming that's what I had at the bottom of my pantry. I didn't know what that was called. Why you got it at the bottom pantry if you don't know what it is? Heather, you're funny. A blender you can have for the shore. It's a KitchenAid. Never use it. It's a blender? Oh, Carrie, I'd love it. And then I could say, this blender is brought to you by Carrie. We'll catch up somewhere. Are you home today? I'm headed for a shore. I gotta go clean it. I have a blender. You want? Well, all of a sudden we got blenders. I have a duo mandolin and chopper. I just switch out the blades. I'm not an expert. I think they're pronounced mandolin is a mandolin. Moin, what are you saying? She says a mandolin is a musical instrument. A mandolin is art. Mandolin. That's like mommy. Hey, listen, mommy. Listen, you either know, if you know, you know. I can't explain what I'm saying and why it's so funny, but what I'm saying is hilarious right now. Mommy. 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 Jim. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Family Feud. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just put in Family Feud. Mommy. yeah. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say mommy. Favorite episode. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, how about mommy? He's like, you're just saying it slower. Oh, so funny. And she was clueless. She was clueless. Just kept saying it. She was okay. All right, how about this? How about mommy? Oh, Amy, that's next. I think I have an immersion blender, but it's at the house. I'm very excited to get some of my appliances back. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mommy is the name of the 100-year-old turtle at the Philadelphia Zoo. She wasn't even embarrassed. She didn't even care. She's like, that's my answer. I was like, but that's not. Did you ever resort to calling your mom by her real name to get her attention? Yeah, Nancy, that's why I call her Di. It happened during the time that I was competing for Miss America. Well, no, it happened during the time that Diana was competing for Miss America, because that's what it became. Diana, I qualified, but Diana was going, and she was in her own thing, and so she was making a dress for me to wear on stage, and she was so excited. And so I'd be sitting there going, Mom, I need you. And nothing. I'd be like, Di. What? And I realized, if you call Mom, she don't hear none of it. You call Diana, be like, Di. What? And stuck. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. And Christy, I agree with you. That would have been completely unacceptable to my mother, but she was no longer. She was Miss New Jersey now, and you just couldn't get her attention. So, my husband, and there were about 30 people at her house. She didn't respond to Mom, so I called her Gloria, and she turned around. That's what I'm saying. Listen. I think that at some point, moms have completely blocked out the word mom. We don't hear that. I have moved past it. I'm Dina again. And if you want my attention, that's how you need to be approaching me now. I'm not in charge of your butt anymore. I'm not paying your bills anymore. Girl, my name is Dina again. And if you want me for something, call me by my name, but I'm not answering to Mom, because Mom has to answer you. That's the thing. Moms have to respond. And your body, your biological body knows there's somebody that's depending on me to live. I got to answer them. My whole life is dedicated to this person. But at some point, it's like your body knows when you when they've all turned 18, and you're like, peace out. And you don't hear it anymore. I mean, you saying it, but I'm done. I'm back. Dina's back. My son calls me dude. Yeah, I don't answer to that either. I don't answer to bruh. That was a time. That was a phase. Just call me Carrie. I can't hear Mom anymore. That's what I'm saying. My grown kids call me Mel. I don't like it. Yeah. No. That was my dad. Never responded to dad, but say his name. I called my mom by her given name my entire adult life. Yeah. My mom's name is Adrian. After Rocky came out, we're always like, yo, Adrian. And she wouldn't respond. Yeah. Bruh. Monica, I wouldn't answer. I was like, who are you talking to? Did you ever have your kids just say something so, and like not in a mean way, but like so ridiculously like they were talking to one of their friends. They're like, bruh, chill out or something. I'm like, who are you talking to? Do you ever just have to remind your kids, I'm not one of your friends. Yeah. Who are you talking to? I'm not mm-mm. If I had called her by her name, she would have ended up on the floor. I get bruh from my son. I refuse to answer. My mother's name is Linda. When I'm frustrated, it's like, Linda, listen. Yeah, no, that's classic, Rebecca. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My daughter will call me Allie girl. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. My legal name is Karen, but never called that. And now that name has taken a turn. My youngest calls me it all the time. Wow. Yeah. I mean, if your name is Linda, it's just done. And that was from a 5-year-old kid. I don't even think he was 5. Linda, listen. Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, Aunt Elva. Oh, Christy, that's so nice. 101. Aunt Elva is 101, you guys. Happy birthday to Aunt Elva. Christy, make sure you tell her we said that. If I ever called my mom by her first name, I would have ended up on the floor. Oh, my kids never call me mom. Said Jim Wagner. Do they call you Jim ever? Mm-hmm. My daughter calls me Mona. I don't care anymore. My son says mommy. Mm-hmm. Linda, listen. All right. All right. Well, listen, we're back. And it is Tuesday. Just for anybody that was wondering, it's Tuesday, not Monday. You're halfway through the week. You're drinking tonight on Tipsy Tuesday. It'll be great. You're going to have a great time. All right. So today's a busy day. I got to go bebop to the gym. I got to go flip the shore house and then come back, have dinner. And then that's it. That's the day. It's a lot. I call my mom Mommy Dearest like the book. Oh, that's so funny. I get weirded out when my husband says my name. I'm Babe. Don't call me by my name. That's funny. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, Jason, no, he doesn't ever call me Dina. What does he call me? Now I'm going to think about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tipsy Tuesdays tonight. So did you get on any shows? Yeah, I did one Friday and Saturday. And then I left on Sunday morning because I couldn't eat or sleep or breathe. And then I feel much better. But yesterday I was so out of it. I slept in the middle of the day. Like I think everything was off. I said to Jason, I was like, it was like 2 or 3 hours I slept yesterday. Like I just was so off. So I'm hoping that today starts to get a little bit more normal and evened out. But I'm no longer going to be doing stand-up in the sky, as I like to call it. Yeah. Did you see the guy who outfit shamed you? No, when? When did I get outfit shamed? He shamed me? I mean, it's not that hard. I've seen my outfits. But when did that happen? Outfit shamed me. You mean, was it in the video? When I was walking up the hill like that? I don't know. The first time you went to perform? No. You told us. Oh, the guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, when I showed up, I was, cause I went to watch a comedy show. It was the 5:00 show. And that went from 5 to 6:30. And my show was at 8:00. And I was like, I don't want to walk down this hill and come back up because I hadn't eaten any food. And I was just drinking. They kept telling me to drink Coca-Cola because between the caffeine and the sugar, that was supposed to help. So I just sat with my Afghan and just like drank sugar at the bar. And I looked like a mum. Yeah. And I was like, this is fine. So I was the first one at the show. I was a half hour early. And he was like, do you want to sit in the first row or the second row? And I was like, oh, no, I'm in the show. And then he went, okay. And I still didn't leave. And I was just like, it's fine. I'm just going to sit in the back. People are going to understand that I don't feel good. But then I saw everybody was coming and they looked so nice. And I was like, oh, no, listen, there's a time to be ugly. And then there's a time to say, girl, get it together. Go put some real pants on. So I did. Yeah, they were some tight jeans. But that's how far we needed to take it. I don't think the guy knew who I was when I came back in. He was like, listen, you can sit anywhere. Just don't sit next to that lady with the Afghan. I don't even think he knew it was the same person. It was funny. Yeah, I did that in 18 minutes. And I was like, I was talking to Missy the whole way down the hill. She's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. I was like, listen, it's not good. It's not good. All right, everybody, that's it. Have a good day. And I will see you tonight for Tipsy Tuesday. And it'll be great. We're all going to have a great day, wonderful day. It's going to be wonderful. Well, thanks for watching. As always, like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, let's eat smoothies tomorrow. They say that all the time, even though it's Smoothie Tuesday, it's going to be Smoothie Wednesday. I'll see if Steph can post it. Who knows what we'll make. But it's good to be back. And yeah, we're easing into the summer, y'all. It's so exciting. And look up this pesto recipe, grilled salmon with summer herb pesto. It's quite yummy. You'd love it. All right. Have a great day and a blessed day. I'll see you tonight. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Hey, guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.